All right, good morning, good morning. Um, we're going to see what. Let's just see, give me 1 second. Let me just set up my trade. So far, we are bullish. So, okay, so, um, technically, we're bearish for the day. Sorry, not bullish. But we are going down. Now, if news goes down first, then we should swap to bullish, right? So we will see. Give me 1 second. Let me just go ahead and paste my link. Okay. Okay, so the 5 minute high that it has to break is all the way up here if we're bearish. So if news either breaks here or if news dives down, if news was to dive down, then we will probably switch to being bullish. I'll explain why in a little bit, but okay, so news is in less than 30 seconds. Let me make sure my accounts are open. Okay guys, give me one moment while news plays out. I'll be right back. 1 second. Okay, so news, remember, if it drops like this, then we're bullish, okay? Alright, be right back. 1 second. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry for the delay, but I was having some technical difficulties this morning, but it looks like we didn't miss anything, so it's fine. My trade did win on, so here is my chart for the morning delight, and my trade actually won here. So this was my morning delight trade right here. So I know some of you are going to be wondering, why do I have indicators on my chart? So here was the morning delight trade right here. And the indicator doesn't serve as like a signal, right? The indicator just serves as an indicator, and these pivot fractals are just like swing highs and swing lows basically. But so here was the morning delight trade. Now I'm going to post this on the Discord soon. It has a really high win rate now. If I go back a little bit, you'll notice that it has a trade. It had some trades that won right here and all that. But I wanted to look at the news yesterday. So if we don't get a trade, I'm going to explain what happened with the news yesterday. Okay, so I could go on 1 minute and we could take a look here. So the reason why we're bullish right now is not because we expect the whole day to start bullish, right? Because if we look on the daily, this could be the daily candle flipping bearish, right? On a 4 hour, it looks like it's flipping bearish. On a 1 hour, it's flipped bearish. It's having like a change of character right here because this is the last low, right? So it has, this is like the pattern we look for Asian session, right? Up and then down, previous low. This is where we would enter once this candle closes. 30 minutes, 15 minutes, yeah, it all looks pretty much bearish. But I do expect it to go back up. If it's going to go down, it's going to retest these areas right here, this box, this level. So if it is bearish, let me go ahead and see if I can draw a rectangle. It's going to test this area right here again. So hopefully we could get a signal down here to push it back up into here. And let me go ahead and just set this up really quick. It may have a signal here actually. I might take it here. I think I might have missed it. Let me see. No, I'm not going to take it, guys. Don't take it yet. Only reason because this could flip bearish and keep dropping. Just because it didn't really end like above the candle, right, or at the same level, so I don't really trust this. And if it works out, it works out, right? Our main bias is supposed to be bearish, so we're going to be really careful when we enter trades. Also, the morning delight, the trade setup I was referring to, Let me first show you guys what happened last night, right? While we wait, we may not get a signal right now. Maybe here. This might be our signal. Let's see. Yeah, I might take it to go up here. Now, I'll probably take less risk. Just because... Oh. I don't want it to go too up. Let me make sure. Yeah, I'm probably skipping this too. Like I said, our main bias is supposed to be bearish, so if I'm not very careful here, we could get caught in a waterfall and end up losing. So I'm very cautious with what I'm taking. One thing I did want to explain though, let me go ahead and open up USD JPY. I'll show you guys why I lost yesterday on the news trade. I remember telling you guys to sell both USD JPY and gold, and here is, so it was 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. Where's 2 p.m.? Right here. Okay, so here's why I lost. I entered, if I had entered probably a little bit later, like, it was very unfortunate. I'm gonna find my entry and everything. Okay, so here, and I promise you we're not missing any trades, right? So if I explain this right now, we're not missing any trades. This is why I hate USD news, okay? So I entered right somewhere down here near the end of this candle, right? So if I just do this, it was somewhere like right here, or even a little bit lower, something like that, or maybe it was around here, I'm not sure, but either way my stops was 16 pips, right? And price never hit my okay, so it was higher, maybe it was here. Price never hit my 16 pips, but it was like 1 pip away, so maybe it was something like this, right? And TP was obviously 3R. And it's supposed to be 15 pips, right? But I give it an extra pip because of spreads. And it did something like this where it was 1 pip away from my stop loss, right? But it still took me out because of spreads. And that's why I lost the trade. And it top wicked me. As soon as it hit the very top of that, it kicked me out of the trade and it immediately fell down. So that's why I hate USD news. It wasn't a bad setup. I did kind of, I should have entered maybe in the last 30 seconds, so maybe I would have got like right here, and my stop loss would have been just a little bit higher, even if it was maybe 2 points higher, so not even a pip, maybe if it was just 2 points higher, I would have been in the trade still, and I would have made 3R on USD JPY sell. But just because of that little tiny difference where it was just a pip higher, my stop loss was like 1 pip higher, I ended up getting wicked out by the news and spreads. But that's what happened with my news trade. And obviously gold lost, right? But USD JPY was supposed to be the winner, and like I said, I used 15 pips, but because you want an extra pip, it's 16 pip stop loss, and it wasn't enough. Maybe if I'd used 17, but it's fine. Overall, it was a good setup. It's just, look, even when the news hit, look what happened. It barely moved. It came up. This is where gold lost, on the gold chart. When this candle had come up, gold had just dropped a lot, and then it started doing this, and then at 2:30, which was the other news, it started dropping. But yeah, so that was unfortunate. So I'm gonna stick to the AUD and NZD news releases. I've already made a calendar. I think you guys should also make a calendar. I'm giving you guys basically the best setups for the news. Yesterday was a really good setup. It's just USD news likes to move more. Okay. While we wait, I will just go ahead and give me 1 second. I'm going to explain a little bit about the daily delight, which is the morning delight, which is going to be the last method that I didn't post yet, but overall it has about, I would say it has probably like 65-70% win rate. I do believe in June it was 8, so you don't get a trade every day, right? It was like 11 and 3, right? So 11 over 14 is that about, it was it was 78% in June, but it's like a 70% win rate. It's a 2R, but it's also, you could either use it just for New York session or London and New York. And I'll explain a little bit here while we wait for gold to kind of go back up, but we do use one indicator, which is the stochastics, right? And we're not using this as a signal or anything. The only thing we use the stochastics for is the momentum. We want to at least see the momentum moving the opposite direction when we enter a trade. We have certain rules we follow, and the signal has to pop up in the what do you call it, in the area here. So this could have been another trade right here. You wouldn't enter it till this candle here. So I expect gold to keep dropping here. So if you entered the trade right here, your stop loss goes the high of the session, and 2R would have been hit right here. And the boxes for the session are a bit different because you start trading the morning delight on gold as early as 7 a.m. It's a set and forget. Yesterday it had a buy. If I could show you yesterday's trade. It was, let me see, it might have been right here at the last candle, which is the 10 a.m. candle right here. It had a signal, right? And stop loss was down here. 2R was up here, and I think it hit TP during the news, the FOMC news, right here. So it has different, we look for the setup, and then once we've done the setup, we just look to see if the stochastics are in momentum with us, where obviously if we have an up signal, right, then we want the stochastics to be blue over the orange, and it was on this candle right here. So we take the signal. It never took us out, but obviously if you move to break even, you will get, if you move to break, I'm not moving to break even, but if you do, maybe before news you want to move to break even, but since this was at break even before news, you're not moving this to break even. Either way, you hit take profit, or you could have taken it up here, which would have been a 1 to 6.8. Okay, it also had a wind over here somewhere. This is the drilling. Let me see if I could find the signal. Maybe it didn't have a signal here. Yeah, probably didn't have a signal here. But anyway, it might have been this day here that it had the signal. Yeah, it did have a signal here, and I do believe the signal was right here after this candle close, this blue candle close or up candle close. And if I just do something like this, remove drawings, we short right here. I'm going to make a video to explain this to you guys in the VIP, so you'll be able to review over the weekend. But this was the signal. It's on 15-minute charts. I know some of you will probably not like that, right? But the setup was right here. And as you could see, it basically hit TP, right? Let's see what gold is doing right now. Gold is just dropping, so it has one drop, reversal, second drop, reversal, third drop, small reversal. I do believe we may get one more drop before we get a push up. So let's see what happens next, okay? We may take either the next or the following engulfing that it gives us. If you have any questions though, you could let me know. So here's the morning delight. Let me see, did it have a signal here? I'm pretty sure it did not. I do believe on this day here, it might have had a signal right here. So I'm not just waiting for stochastics, right? We're not using the stochastics as a reason to enter the trade. We do use the stochastics to confirm the momentum, but just because it crosses does not mean we're taking the trade, because we know these indicators lag. I do believe there was a signal here as well. So sometimes you're entering way ahead of, like, price could be, I think here would have been the day it didn't win. It might have. Let me see, maybe I entered before that. It could have been right here at the end of this. I do know this day I entered, but I'm not sure. Here I don't know, but anyway, it was something really crazy where the last 4 or 5 trades won in a row, but obviously it's a work in progress, right? Like, you're going to get between 65 and 70% win rate, but because it's on a higher time frame, you could feel comfortable risking probably more, or risking 1% per trade is fine. Now, I am also looking at a London session trade setup, right? And the London session, I don't know who trades London session, but I'm going to... no, it's not only for gold, but I only trade it for gold. You could probably look at, like, the major pairs. I just like trading gold in general, so I was just giving an example on gold. I've only monitored gold really long, but I know for sure that it works on other pairs as well. But the only indicators you do use are like the swing high, swing low right here, which are basically like how we look at swing highs and swing lows anyway. And you're using stochastics and basically the session time. So you're trading London session from 3 to 5 a.m., right? You want to trade setup between then. And for New York session, instead of 8, we're looking at from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. So that window is where our signal is going to be. And so far, I've won maybe the past 3 trades in a row. It gives trades and it's on a 15-minute chart, so you're not super glued to your charts, right? It's like what do you call it? It's basically how ICT talks about finding the daily bias. So the daily bias is different than how we find it right now. How we find it right now is also kind of similar to an ICT concept power of 3, but it's not exactly. But the other way, for the morning delight, how you're going to find your bias is basically an ICT way, but obviously ICT doesn't use indicators, right? So can't really call it an ICT concept. And honestly, the stochastics do really help with your entries. So I do believe that they play a big part of your trade setup. So I wouldn't remove these. When I show you how to use them, you'll understand. But sometimes it does make us get into the trade late. But as you could see, even entering the trade right here, because you may ask, why didn't I enter on the cross right here, right? But the problem is, if I just rewind this back here, it hadn't crossed yet on this candle, right? So we can't enter there. It crossed right here, but I'm not confident, because if the next candle is green, this is gonna uncross, okay? So I need one more candle to confirm it. If the candle that is current is just crossing, then I wait one more candle. As you can see, this is the candle here that has confirmed the cross, right? So that's why this was the signal for today. It happened in London. I did take it on one of my accounts, but you don't have to trade London session. I think with London session you would have had a way bigger win rate as well. Like if you took London and New York, you would have had a better risk reward. Now if you mix this with our current daily bias, it also kind of helps. So if you're doing the setups how I'll show you how to do the morning delight, plus you use our daily bias method, then it's probably going to have a little bit higher win rate. But as far as win rate, it doesn't matter. Even if it's 50%, you're going to be ahead, so it doesn't really matter, right? On gold alone, you could pass your challenges every month. And you could use other major pairs, it doesn't really matter. I will make a video on it maybe today or tomorrow. Let's see what happens here. Looks like gold finally wants to... I may take a small setup here, guys. You don't have to follow me because we are on a bearish bias. If we do get a bullish engulfing, like a big... Not this. This is not good enough. It has to end with no wicks. And for those of you on the trade copier, starting next week, which is August, I will be taking the morning delight on the trade copier. So I'll have those videos up by the weekend. I'll probably be able to make one, hopefully today. I'll be able to make one, but it's going to be a learning process. It has one little factor that's like a learning curve, but once you master that, it's going to be much easier. Let's see. What is gold doing? Yeah, I didn't like this engulfing right here. I mean, technically we're profitable for the week, right? So we don't need to rush into any trade. It's not like we're trying to make up for any losses or anything. So I don't really want to enter trades that are not valid. I do believe that would have been a nice trade. Maybe if it retests down here, we'll take it again. I mean, we'll probably get an entry down here, maybe. Alright, let's see what happens. I'll keep streaming for like maybe 10 more minutes. Let's see here. Maybe we get a trade set up here. If we could get a bullish engulfing candle soon. Okay, let's see if we get an engulfing here. Alright, so if we don't get set up soon, I'll just end the stream off. But reviewing today, we weren't right. We weren't wrong on the bias, right? The bias was bearish. We've obviously had a very big bearish day. If we were using the last 5-minute, if we were using the last 5-minute swing high, right? It would have been this one here, but the candle right before 8 a.m. closed above it, right? So this happened right here. And if we go to 1 minute, when price closed above it was right before 8 a.m. and price went down. So if we took the first engulfing after 8:20, it would have been this one here. But this is below the 50%, so it was already not valid. Could we get an engulfing? If we don't get an engulfing in the next, we'll say like 3 minutes, I'm gonna end the stream off. Maybe we could get it right here. No. Alright guys, I'm probably going to end the stream off, but one thing I do want to mention is if you're going to be trading the morning delight, I would suggest taking a look at gold first, okay? This pair has provided a lot of results this month. I'll probably make a video reviewing this month as well, just so you guys can understand. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, same time, okay? We're gonna do the same stream, same time, and yeah, if you want to ask me questions, just message me on Telegram. Alright guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow.